Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pert.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Let's look at our cosmic weather for today. See what we're having to deal with. Today's 23rd, right here. 23rd. We have the same sun sign as yesterday, where we will have for the next month, and the moon sign is transitioning. We could see that the transition completes itself this afternoon at 3:43 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So right now we are in Libra, going from Libra, an air sign, into a water sign, Scorpio. Air, words and actions; water, emotions, feelings. So, and then remember with Scorpio, it's dark because the feelings are buried way, way, way down deep. And so because they're so deep down underneath the surface, where there isn't any light shining down there, that is what the darkness is. It's not darkness because of badness. It's just darkness because lack of light. That is it. As far as anything else going on today, we do have just about 11 o'clock tonight between Scorpio, the moon sign, and Uranus. We have a trine between the two of those, and that's a nice, good, harmonious energy. Unexpected change comes with Uranus. Oh, then shortly after that, there's a square going on between the Sun, Aquarius, and the Moon, Scorpio, which means some sort of challenge. We want to look to the future from the Aquarian standpoint, but the Scorpio aspect of us wants us to deal with some emotions that are buried deep down. So those two run into each other, and that's what that square is. How to have those two things working together in harmony, where everything's at peace. So again, it goes back to how we are going to mix those two elements, water and air. Okay? Water and air. Just think how water and air operate in life, and that's the important way to make sure you deal with it when you deal with it in life. Over here, it tells us that today is our sun, what our sun's looking like today, the 23rd, excuse me, our moon. It says the last quarter moon is tonight. The moon rises around 1 a.m. local time. To its upper right is Mars Spica pair, and rising to its lower left more than an hour later is Saturn. By dawn in the 24th, they're lined up horizontally in the south to the southwest. Jupiter's great red spot transits around 9:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so there you go. Looking up to the sky, that's what you'll see today. Mars and Spica right here. Okay. Current moon phase is 56% of the way full. Mayan Oracle, we have a 7-tone day. Symbol of the kin for today is the serpent, which makes this a 7th serpent or a resonant serpent, guided by the earth. Serpent is about life force energy. The earth is all about synchronicity and navigation. So today we have the resident life force guided by navigation. Resonant is the tone of attunement. You can see where its position is here in this wave spell, or the theme of the storm. The phrase for today is, I channel in order to survive, inspiring instinct. I seal the store of life force with the resonant tone of attunement. I am guided by the power of navigation, and today is one of those galactic activation portal days. We are 5 columns over, 5 rows down, therefore we meet at this point here, and that's the energy of the day. Now, if we were to look at the other systems, ISNEAUVILLE, 12 ISNEAUVILLE is the symbol on the Zolkin if we just look at the Mayan calendar long count. Okay, so it's a little bit different. We go from a 9 tone to a 12 tone, so there's a difference of 3. We're off by 3 in this regard, but we're not just 3 positions over, 3 tones over, and Etznab and the serpent, those are, well, this is would be the human 12th symbol, and this is the 5th, so there's a difference of 7 symbols apart there. Alright, you can even see where this would be the ISNEAUVILLE. 12 ISNEAUVILLE would be right around here. Right here. Okay, so you see where's a difference. Alright, moving on. Space weather. Solar wind 436.7 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is in the quiet range at the moment, 1 to 3. The coronal holes moving off out of our range. You can see the hole is kind of now it's changed shape a little bit. M-class flares 30%, X-class 1. Geomagnetic storm activity pretty low as well. A little bit more insight. Here's Space Weather's Prediction Center. Shows the same bit of information. Alright. And then no radiation storms, no radio blackouts, no geomagnetic storms happening. So this is a good place to check out just for further information. Alright, then if we want to get a look at our sun today, what's going on with it? For those who want further insight, here we go. Take a look at the images. There's Alaska 3 image. Alright. And there you have it. That's what's going on out there today, energetically, so just plan accordingly. Alright, UFO news is up next. Let's do it.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
Alright, Dirk, thank you very much. I had a bunch of stories today. So, story number 1. Mysterious beams of light accompanied by orbs over Illinois on the 21st of January. Look at this, there's a lot of them. A lot of these things up in the sky. Just in this shot alone, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe perhaps another one there. It says, although the eyewitness doesn't state anything about the orbs in the sky, I did circle them in red, but click the original link to see the very large original photo. On my drive to work, roughly 4 a.m. Chicago time, I saw strange lights almost immediately once I got out of my subdivision and onto a secondary road. Whilst driving on I-43 Road Street, Homer Glen, from the west of Parker Road to Highway 1355, I was completely enamored by these strangely shaped beams of light. Once I got on the highway, I saw them more clearly. Just by luck, I had my good cell phone with me and was able to snap a shot of the lights. They did not move, they did not make any noise. I observed them from some distance. I was on the highway and they looked to be high in the sky, off in the distance, south of the I-355. Alright, so let's take another look at these images. Again, it's quite a few. Alright, it's very interesting indeed. Moving on from there, white UFO caught coming from volcano in Japan. This was on the 23rd, just today. There's our volcano, or our object in question. The UFO was caught on live cam. I'm not sure what live cam they use, but I will put up a different live cam. But I will put up a different live cam since the eyewitness didn't tell us the site. Volcanoes around the world have been notorious for the UFO sightings, and the white color of the UFO matches a lot of other sightings reports. There you see it flying there. Right there. Alright, so they like the volcanoes. Next up, this one here, Westcoast UFO hunters' first great UFO sighting of January of 2014. Great timing on the overflight, working against less than optimum sky watching conditions. The first object in 2014 after weeks of inclement weather, cloudy and ice fog. Even shortly after this capture, the fog inversion returned, but not until we got to observe a silent object with changing light array move overhead. Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that's a pretty good sighting. Certainly not a helicopter or a plane. Alright, let's look at this one here. This is a study from the Kepler, data from the Kepler Space Telescope that shows how big the universe actually is. Here we go. Well, not how big it is, but how much bigger it is than they thought it was. Here we go.
It turns out this galaxy is a pretty crowded place. A new study of NASA data says there are billions and billions of planets similar to Earth in the Milky Way alone. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley estimate about 22% of stars similar to our Sun have planets of similar size and temperature to Earth. The math works out to about 10 billion potential Earths. The researchers used data from NASA's Kepler telescope, launched in 2009, to study planets in our galaxy. Kepler studied light levels from stars across the Milky Way, looking for the shadows of orbiting planets. The telescope suffered a mechanical failure earlier this year and was shut down, but scientists are still poring over the 4 years of data. More than 3,600 planet candidates have been found so far. The study's lead researcher, Eric Pettigura, says this analysis will give scientists a better picture of where to look in the search for a hospitable planet. When you look up at the thousands of stars in the night sky, the nearest sun-like star with an Earth-sized planet in its habitable zone is probably only 12 light-years away and can be seen with the naked eye. That is amazing. Of course, there's still a world of difference between Earth-like and habitable planets. A Slate writer notes many of these planets might be, quote, a blazing hell like Venus, or a cold, desolate desert like Mars. Or it may have a lot of ammonia in the air, or some other noxious gas. We don't know anything yet about such contingencies. The study was published Monday in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. For Newsy, I'm Zach Toombs.
Alright, so there you go. The universe gets bigger, scientists continue to find out more, and it will continue to happen that way. As long as there's space and as long as there's scientists, the two will continue to learn more about each other. Alright, this one here. Witness reports continue to increase after converge of UFO sightings in Barnoldswick, England. A UFO sighting of a classic dish-shaped object in Barnoldswick, England, got featured in the Lancashire Telegraph newspaper. More witnesses stepped forward after the newspaper requested their Twitter followers to share their UFO stories. Twitter account at Blotties_world responded and even included a captured image of a strange white and glowing object hovering in the Blackburn town on the 11th of July 2013. The witness further tweeted about another strange UFO sighting occurred in their neighborhood. I'm convinced that there's something. In the late 70s, a lot of people in the Blackburn were awoken by a bright cigar-shaped light that floated across the town following the railway line. If affected electricals like clocks and alarms. Our neighbor who had been in the RAF saw it, said he hasn't seen anything of ours. Said it wasn't anything of ours. Mike Ashworth of Accrington resident reported he spotted a glowing object with flashing lights in the sky on the 23rd of December 2013. Ashworth recounted to the Lancashire Telegraph that he was with his family when the UFO sighting happened. He described the unidentified flying object to be half spherical in shape, in bright light green color with several red blinking lights beneath. Size in the sky was approximately the size of a golf ball when held at arm's length. It took about 12 seconds to go from overhead to disappearing over a long field. Long Ridge fell some 15 miles to the northwest direction. It made no noise and was traveling far faster than the commercial aircraft that flew over Accrington daily. Another eyewitness shared on her Twitter account about the UFO encounter that she had 7 years ago at Mill Hill. Her tweet revealed that she was convinced with UFO sightings, describing it would be low and just feet above the St. George Church before it moved in vantage. An airline pilot also reported his UFO story while flying close to Heathrow Airport in London on July 19th. According to the unnamed commercial airline pilot, he ducked when the cigar-shaped UFO passed the A320 Airbus windshield. In Germany, a mysterious object has reportedly canceled flights and grounded airplanes for 3 hours at the Bremen Airport on Monday the 6th. Okay, so lots of sightings going on there. Lots of activity. All right, here we're going to go to France. This was a snake in the sky. Luminous snake in the sky. Let's see. Luminous snake UFO photos taken over ISNEAUVILLE, SEINE-MARITIME, France. Hello, Christian. As a faithful reader of your blog for a long time, I'm sending you a lot of pictures that I took last night, Saturday the 11th of January, from 10:20 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. here in my garden. I'm very interested in UFOs since I've seen a 50 ME in March 72 in Saint-Etienne-de-Rouvray. One morning going to college in a field behind the classroom, prefabricated. Having the habit of always being ahead whenever I go, I arrived before everyone. Unfortunately, I was the only witness to the observation. I saw a sphere from July to August in diameter, advancing very slowly, hugging the herbs of the field. She had a south-north direction. A sphere had a bright, slight orange color. I felt that grazing flames turned around the surface without even depart. So since that time, I'm interested in UFO phenomena as well as everything related to the paranormal and space conquest. Although I followed the exploits of the Apollo mission since 1969 with the landing Apollo 11, since I repeatedly saw other identified aerial phenomena. You can go on to see, and here's some images, things that were captured. All right, let me move on from there. So, lots of people see UFOs, and this piece here is about celebrities, 6 of them that have seen them. 6 stars who believe in extraterrestrials. It's not too surprising that E.T. singer Katy Perry believes in UFOs. I see everything through the spiritual lens. I believe in a lot of astrology. I believe in aliens. The pop star says in the February 2014 issue of GQ. What is surprising, however, is that she's not alone. Pun intended. Unconditionally, singer Katy Perry is just one of many celebrities who's open to the idea that there is life on other planets. Actress Megan Fox, for example, is a big fan of history series Ancient Aliens. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle star said during a March 2012 appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show. It's all about the theory that these megalithic structures were possibly built by not necessarily little green aliens, but future humans that they call ancient astronauts. They did some sort of time travel, something extraterrestrial was involved. Tom Cruise, the star of science fiction War of the Worlds, is also a believer. Are you really so arrogant as to believe that we are alone in this universe? Millions of stars, and we're supposedly to be the only living creatures? No, there are many things out there, he said in 2007. We just don't know. Similarly, the day the Earth stood still star and noted sci-fi fan Keanu Reeves once asked, how can it be possible that we are the only beings in the universe? I don't know if or when we will get to meet them, but it's absolutely inconceivable that we won't get to meet them sometime. Otherworldly creatures also fascinate After-Earth star Jaden Smith. I like aliens, he told Wonderland in April 2013. I talked to President Obama about extraterrestrials. He said he could neither confirm nor deny the existence of aliens, which means that they're real. If people think that they're only people that live in the universe, then something is wrong with them. Alien star Sigourney Weaver subscribes to the idea that the existence of other life forms. We are not alone in the universe. I think there's a department in our government that's exclusively dedicated to squashing reports about aliens. That's so unfair, the actress once told the German magazine Spielfilm. It would be nice if we weren't just able to read about it in the tabloids. In April 2010, Dan Aykroyd argued that humans have ruined any chance of meeting aliens. They don't want anything to do with us. I don't think we will ever have a formal relationship or formal contact with any alien species out there, especially after 9/11, when we broke our toys in the sandbox, the Ghostbuster star said in CNN's Larry King Live. If they were observing that, goodbye, human race. New Girl's Zoe Deschanel has been questioning the existence of extraterrestrials ever since her older sibling Emily played a trick on her as a kid. I grew up believing my sister was from the planet Neptune and had been sent down to Earth to kill me, she told the Daily Mail in September 2009. I think she had seen the invasion of the body snatchers, and her imagination ran away with her. That's part of me that still believes it. I have moments when I think, could that be true? Occasionally I ask my sister about it, and she responds by pulling an alien face, which only confuses matters. And then last, Alicia Keys. She believes aliens are roaming Earth in disguise. Haven't all of us seen something flying in the sky, and it's at some random time at night that doesn't make sense, and it's not the shape of a plane? She asked during an October 2013 BuzzFeed interview. If an alien wanted to take Keys to space, the Grammy winner would need some time to consider the offer. I would have to feel the alien's vibe. It had to be the right vibe. If it was one of those crazy nutso dudes my brother watches, he always wants me to watch these movies with him, and I'm like, nope, I wouldn't go with that one. Alright, so pretty cool. One last story here. UFO contactee can reveal the truth behind illusions perceived by the human mind. Throughout the centuries, we've been struggling to understand the true nature of our earthly reality. Ancient myths and some unbelievable spiritual religious occurrences, it seems, always have been difficult to accept or understand. Only recently, with the advent of new discoveries in quantum mechanics, are we now able to embark on a new adventure of trying to apply these new discoveries to the mysteries of history, not to mention the seemingly indelible mysteries of our expanding modern universe, which, of course, include the phenomena of UFOs. Even if one considers all of the new available related information, we still don't truly understand what all of these mysterious phenomena might actually be. Or rather, we still don't understand them enough to be able to slip them into solid scientific categories or apply to them our established scientific principles. This suggests to me that we need to expand our minds and accept some of the evidence at face value. Consider what the possibilities might be, then extrapolate scientifically, spiritually, and religiously, so to speak, beyond the status quo. Even though I have been a successful research and development engineer primarily through the Cold War, I am not an expert when it comes to understanding the new discoveries in physics, the social sciences, or history for that matter. But I am a UFO contactee. Whatever that truly means, I'm able to understand that what I and others witness defied science as we know it. In my employment as a research and development engineer, I was trained to observe things fairly and objectively. And in my experience as UFO contactee, I was allowed to recall my encounters in extreme detail, as have some others. This places me and those in the most unusual position. We're able to relate to you some of the most unbelievable realities that presently lie at our perceptual human doorstep, which it seems at this time in history is what one would call the threshold to the eternal universe. For example, beyond time and space, but also including time and space. Much of the information that I can pass on is included in the books I've written. You can find them, and there's a link here to that. You can find some of the drawings. Also, here's a link, John Foster, F-O-S-T-E-R-A-R-T, johnfosterart.com. Here I simply tried to convey the idea of a few facts and observations related to what I and other people who were with me witnessed during a couple of simple encounters. These encounters also suggest to demonstrate that the humans most probably perceive actual happenings, but in the end, the happenings can be considered illusions, and further that a perception of the human mind possibly is an illusion that most often conveys a reality that is limited to a box, a body box with the walls that limit perception to our time into 3 dimensions, a box that is possibly defined or limited by our DNA. All right, we got a bunch more to the article here, but go ahead and check that out. Interesting reading. And that is our UFO news for today. Let me jump away for a moment here, play a song. The song's called Observation. I'll be back.
Another alien visitor claimed that his race had been looking in on us for centuries, and that they had in fact influenced the course of human history in some rather critical and startling ways.
Continuing on, okay, global warming. This is NASA confirms a 17-year pause in global warming. I guess someone forgot to tell Al Gore. The latest data from NASA shows that the trends in temperature across the globe over the last decade and a half appear to be lower than they were for the previous decade, showing that global warming still continues to be stopped in its tracks. That's not to say that there wasn't individual years where temperatures were above average. However, over the course of time, they've remained. Gavin Schmidt, a climatologist with NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, said that we've been looking at this in separate work, and partially it seems to be a function of internal variability in the system. So the fact is that we've had more La Nina-like conditions over the last few years compared to earlier on in the 2000s or the late 90s. For those who are unfamiliar, La Nina refers to cooler than average surface temperatures in the ocean and affects weather patterns across the world. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, estimates that the Earth temperature should be increasing by 2 degrees Celsius annually, which means that based on current data from NASA, it's currently 3 degrees Celsius cooler than it should be, says David Whitehouse, the BBC science editor who holds a doctorate in astrophysics. He states that based on the data, that pause in global surface temperatures that began in 1997, according to some estimates, continues. He's working on 2 sets of data, one from NASA, which shows 2013 being tied with 2009 and 2006 as the 7th warmest years on record, and one from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, which shows 2013 being the 4th warmest year, tied with 2003. NASA's data shows 2013 having an average temperature of 58.3 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 1.1 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the mid-20th century baseline temperatures. NASA's data also shows global temperatures have risen 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880. Government scientists often stress that changing weather patterns also affect global temperatures, and that the emission of so-called greenhouse gases plays a major role as well. They claim that on an annual basis, temperatures may not rise, but each decade will show an increase in average temperatures. They also claim that volcanoes, solar activity, smog, and volatile organics play a role in the temperature changes as well. Government scientists use the natural causes of temperature fluctuations as a crutch of sorts, claiming that because they're not able to control what happens naturally, that their predictions have been off, and that they're still struggling to figure out why temperatures haven't risen in the last 17 years. However, they still hold to their guns and claims that the carbon emissions from humans that are causing climate change, even though the climate has continuously changed throughout the entire life of the planet. Some scientists would argue that the ocean absorbed the greenhouse gases, and others would say it's a result of ever-changing climate on Earth. But at least they can all somewhat agree in their predictions that their predictions aren't accurate for one reason or another. Where's Al Gore when the truth of the matter finally comes out? So again, for those who've been paying attention, you know that the whole global warming issue has just been a big old scam, a big lie being told. I mean, all it takes is just thinking back over history. And again, once we understand the history of something, then we can look back and really look at the truth of a situation. If we look back over history, we see that planet Earth, without humans, has continued to go about its own pacing. It would get warmer and it gets cooler the way it's going to be without human being around. So the fact that there's someone trying to tell us that it's humans' fault, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And the only ones who believe that are those who have had the unfortunate situation of very low education. Because anyone who's educated understands it's a lie. That's the whole difference in the world. The whole difference in the world is based on how smart people are or how stupid they are. And from there, everything goes. All right. I thought today we would talk about esoteric science. I'm trying to set it up so every day we have a particular subject we'll deal with. On Mondays, we'll deal with this new segment called Dumpster Diving. On Tuesday, we'll get into Words of the Masters. On Wednesdays, we'll get into what we get into yesterday. Wednesdays, we'll bring in guests, or we'll talk about lost civilizations, esoteric science, and then I'll figure out something for Fridays. But esoteric science, what is it? Esoteric science are studies of sciences beyond those that are the normal sciences of math and physics. It's something that is beyond that, because math and physics study the physical world, the physical reality. They also study, to a degree, what is beyond that physical reality, but because it's not seen, then there's a world that's really not looked at. And that's the world that is looked at during the studies of esoteric sciences, things that are a little bit more out there. Here is a site. It's called esotericscience.org. Hello and welcome to the Esoteric Science website, where you can open your mind to a different way of thinking and your heart to a different way of being. The website has been expanded to include psychological healing, personal development, and spiritual growth, which coincides with the release of my second book, Awakening to Wholeness. I hope the website and book spark your interest and inspire your life. Lee Blandon. The Science of Spirituality is a groundbreaking book that integrates the individual science, systems of science, psychology, philosophy, spirituality, and religion into a unified system that describes the multidimensional nature of man and the universe. It provides a more comprehensive description of reality than conventional science can offer, and fully explains the mechanism behind an array of paranormal phenomena that mainstream science chooses to ignore. It explains that science behind religion, spiritual and New Age belief systems, and shed lights on some common misconceptions. Einstein says religion without science is blind. Science without religion is lame, because they are two sides of the same coin. Recent scientific discoveries have unknowingly provided evidence that supports the multidimensional nature of reality that Hindus, Buddhists, Gnostics, and Kabbalists have known about for thousands of years. By combining modern scientific facts with ancient spiritual knowledge, we can begin to uncover the whole truth and bring unity out of the existing duality. There can only be one true reality, but we will never know the whole truth if we only look from one perspective and hold on to our preconceived ideas. The Science of Spirituality systematically describes the mechanism behind a diverse range of subject matter, including esoterics, consciousness, sleep and dreams, reincarnation, religion, creation, evolution, space and time, higher dimensions, heaven and hell, ghosts, angels and demons, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, clairvoyance, psychic abilities, personal development, meditation, and the meaning of life. With science and religion, we have two seemingly opposed views of how life, the universe, and everything began. Scientists generally believe that a perfectly balanced universe spontaneously appeared out of nothingness, and that life, conscious, and intelligence randomly evolved from inert matter. Christians generally believe that the all-powerful, all-knowing God created the world and its myriad of life forms in just 6 days. Not only do both seem pretty unbelievable, they appear to share no common ground. However, recent scientific discoveries have unknowingly provided evidence that supports the multidimensional nature of reality that the Hindus, Buddhists, and Kabbalists have known about for thousands of years. The latest scientific model states that the universe is multidimensional, with 6 or more hidden spatial dimensions, and it's primarily composed of non-physical matter, dark energy, dark matter. Respected doctors and medical practitioners are now openly investigating near-death experiences, out-of-body experiences, and past life regressions, and we're beginning to discover the multidimensional nature of human beings. By combining modern scientific facts with ancient spiritual knowledge, we begin to uncover the whole truth and bring unity out of the existing duality. There can be only one true reality, but we will never discover the whole truth if we hold on to preconceived ideas and only look from one perspective. Einstein said religion without science is blind, science without religion is lame, because there are two sides of the same coin. So, what have we gotten from this? It's just going on further to explain what I said, that esoteric science is looking beyond the normal realm of the mainstream science. It's looking deeper. It's understanding that here in this physical world, that the physical world is made up of the fire, the water, and the air. We can even backtrack, say spirit, fire, water, and air. And that makes up everything in this physical world. If we want to look at the studies of all of that which makes up the physical world, then we're delving into the realm of esoteric sciences, because there are energies behind the physical energies that science doesn't deal with. Metaphysics does. Science doesn't. Physics doesn't. They deal with the physical world. But now we're looking at something deeper. And so that's where you have the studies of numerology, Kabbalah, Tarot, all of these different systems. They're systems of study. As a matter of fact, the word Kabbalah itself means the science of the many universes. Okay? So even though it's a science that was received down here by humankind as it was presented from the angelic kingdom, it is a science that does exist throughout the universe. It's not just here on Earth. And so as we begin to understand the deeper mysteries of esoteric science, we begin to understand more of the universe. And what it shows us is that there's an order to everything. If we look at numerology, we have the numbers from 0 through 9. All of these numbers represent energetic stages of creation that occur each and every day, each and every moment. And as we understand the order of how things are created, the order of these energies, then we can understand how we can manifest things in our lives. As we are able to look at numbers and numerology, we can look around us and begin to see how everything does relate itself back to a number, that we use colors to understand that color has a purpose and a meaning, sound has a purpose and a meaning, and all of these elements are very important to understanding life from an esoteric standpoint, from a deeper aspect than just the physical realm. So that's, in a nutshell, what esoteric science is. I think over the course of the next couple weeks, I'll bring up different examples. I know we've covered a number of them already, probably all of them, but I'll just pretend like we haven't, and I'll bring up some subjects, and we'll go over numerology, and we'll go over Tarot and Kabbalah and the various esoteric sciences that are out there, so you can see what they're all about. So if you have any questions or thoughts and ideas about the various esoteric sciences, or a particular one that you would like to be addressed, send me an email, firstcontactradio@yahoo.com, and let me know, and we'll do what we can to make it happen. Alrighty, moving on. Now, when we evolve through life, we we often talk about the light and the dark down here on Earth, that we want to make sure that we stand in the light and we want to avoid the dark. But maybe avoiding the dark isn't really the right term, because light and dark work together. Dark isn't bad. Dark can be good. It's when we think and attach the idea of badness or evil to the idea of darkness, that's when darkness takes on a different meaning. But just imagine, like, when you're home at night and you turn off the lights, you can go to sleep. There's nothing evil in the darkness around you. It actually is quite peaceful, and in that darkness you're able to fall asleep. So there is an important time when the darkness is beneficial to us. It's not just when we're sleeping, but it's often, a lot of times, when we can just sit and have that moment in that dark, silent space. So in the darkness, we do evolve, because it is actually the darkness that helps to define the light. Okay, think about that for a minute. Think about drawing a picture by hand. Okay, if you have a piece of paper, and imagine that paper is the whole bright white light. The moment you take a pencil, which is a black line, and you begin to draw a shape, now you have used the color black, or whatever color, but you've used that to outline a shape within that light and define a shape within that light. Now, instead of looking at the paper and just seeing all white, you now have something that has been defined by the outline, by the shape, by the darkness around it. And so when we understand what darkness is and how it works, we can certainly use it to our benefit, because it's one of the energies that makes up life. This article is Balancing the Polarities, How the Darkness Helps Us Evolve. Sam Welsby. It's one of these, hands up, who really likes themselves? It's one of these questions that makes people squirm. If we say yes, we might be labeled as arrogant. If we say no, people might catch on that we have low self-esteem. So most people will play it safe and say, sometimes. That covers all bases. We're not full of ourselves or underconfident. We like our good points, but not our bad. And herein lies the problem. It's difficult to have lasting self-esteem if we place conditions on attaining it. If we believe our self-esteem will improve when we're thinner, richer, or kinder, we're standing on shaky ground. And while we may like ourselves, our goals, when we reach our goals, the feeling doesn't last for long. The dissatisfaction and critical inner voice returns, telling us we need to be something different before we can feel good. For many of us, self-esteem is ironically related to how other people in society perceive us. We are taught from a young age that in order to have a high self-esteem, we need to have a job we love, or that pays well, a happy relationship, a home of our own, a healthy bank account, fashionable clothes, a fit body that's desirable to others, defined goals that usually involve moving up some kind of progressional ladder, and a myriad of other external factors. More people are becoming aware of the importance of looking within to find happiness and self-acceptance, and represent in many religions and philosophical traditions that are gaining popularity today. But we then encounter a set of mental, emotional, and for some spiritual requirements that also need to be met before we can truly like ourselves. It is important to understand we are all made up of different parts that can be equated, the different roles that we play in our lives: parent, friend, employee, partner. Some of these parts are more archetypical, some, such as the joker, the child, the saboteur, the victim. Like the disparate and the seemingly disconnected ingredients of a soup, they come together to form our personality. Some parts we like more than others, just as we like the carrots more than we like the cabbage. Some parts we leave out of the mix within our consciousness because we don't like them at all. Well, there's a lot more to this article here. And I think it's just a very good piece to remind us that we need to look at life. We need to look at all of the opportunities around us. We might do well to be open to understand that the light and the dark work together. And by understanding how they work together, not only outside of us but inside of us, we begin to understand more of how we operate. Isn't that the key? To know more about ourselves? So check out the articles available, firstcontactradio.com. We're going to move on. Here we have the message today. This is message from the High Council of Orion. Here we go.
You are the light of the world, Part 2.
Channeled Ascension message from
the High Council of Orion.
January 17, 2014. Channeled by Holly Hawkins Marwood. Transcribed by Paul Marwood.
The Council.
Greetings, dear ones. We are the High Council of Orion. How do you feel about living into your reality that you are the light of the world? As we shared in our last message to each and every one of you who listen, the truth that you are the light of the world, and we encourage each and every one of you to connect into that space of your heart to begin to feel that. We invite you again today to not set aside the idea of that message that you are the light of the world, but continue on with it to explore it at an even deeper level. For as you spend time with this and begin to experience your connection with your light in your quiet moments of meditation or alone time, regrouping time, you begin to live into it as a reality, so it's not just a thought in your mind or a channeling that you read, but you begin to work with the experience that you are the light of the world. We would encourage each and every one of you to spend those few moments every day connecting in with your center, connecting with your heart and your solar plexus energy. Allow yourself to ground those energies back down into the planet. Allow the energies to flow upward and out and into connection with the universe, with all that is, with the energy of your source. Allow the flow of the universal energies and the planetary energies to flow back into your heart and your solar plexus area and mingle and move in those two centers for you. The way we see those energies flowing between your solar plexus and your heart is as if it's in the infinity symbol. So if you begin at your solar plexus and the energies rise up to the heart area and then move back down in that figure 8 that's vertical. Just feel the movement of those centering energies for you. As you feel the motion and the movement and see the light, allow the light to expand out into your physical body. Literally, see it infusing itself into each cell, in each organ, all the tissues and the fluids in your body. Really take the time to feel and live into your awareness of the infusion of light throughout your physical body. Then, in the way that you choose to view it, see the light begin to infuse itself into the energetic bodies, the subtle energy bodies, the ones that also go out beyond the boundaries of your physical body. Just feel yourself living into that light. Allow your breathing to flow in and out as you do, for your breathing allows that connection to source. As you feel your connection with your light body and your light being, allow the thoughts of your mind to just dissolve away into the space of your heart and your solar plexus. Just feel the light. Feel the expansion. As you connect with yourself on this level of light and energy, see that energy expanding outward. See it mingle, dance and intertwine with the light of those around you, the other humans, the animals, the plants, the buildings. For at its essence all the substances are the same. They all are made of the same light energy. Observe how you feel. Observe the inflow of peace, of settledness, centeredness. This is about moving into this place of now also. As you live into the space of your light experience, when you feel peaceful and centered, you can ask for guidance. Ask for inspiration. Ask for understanding about any area of your life that isn't flowing with the light that you are feeling at the moment. Work to ask those questions from your heart and from your solar plexus instead of your mind. Just allow your light to flow into it. Allow your life to unfold, for it's a time now of moving away from information and more into this feeling and this experience of yourself as a light being. It would be our wish for you to grow and live into the understanding and the truth of you being the light of the world, so that you can utter those words past your lips from a place of truth and knowingness. Your ego might want to say it's ego-based to say that you are the light of the world, but as you connect with it, in its truth, as you spend more time with it, you will be able to think and see and feel and even say that you are the light of the world. The light within you is the light that you've been seeking. The light within you is the light that contains all the answers and all the solutions. It's all within you and it's all within your reach. It's all within your field of possibilities. We encourage each and every one of you to play in the light field as the light being that you are. Joyfully embrace the truth that you are the light of the world. Be blessed. We are the High Council of Orion.
All right, very good. Let's check out our affirmation for today. Today's affirmation is, life is what I make it. I have control over my own life. All right, so go ahead and take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Keep your eyes closed. And I want you to imagine the words of today's affirmation. Life is what I make of it. I have control over my own life. Life is what I make of it. I have control over my own life. And imagine yourself living, breathing, in control of your life, in control of the decisions you make, the choices you make on a daily basis, in control of what you do and how you do it, in control of the way in which you accept the spiritual guidance given to you, or whether you go it on your own. And the more you contemplate, the more you understand that the free will we have is what makes us unique. I want you to imagine from your solar plexus, imagine the color yellow, and at your heart imagine the color green. And I want you to imagine between these two areas energy moving back and forth like a figure eight around the solar plexus chakra and then up around the heart chakra, back and forth in a figure eight. And as this figure eight of energy continues to evolve and you see it moving, you feel your body energized as light fills your body. Light fills your body and you actually feel the different bodies within you, the light body. And take a moment to feel the light body. Feel the temperature. Feel the color and sound. And feel what it feels like to be there in the midst of it. And imagine this light energy now moving out and being shared with others. And imagine as the light connects with others and they share the light, we see the planet become brighter. And in the brightness we find the goodness is more defined. And the evil is shown for what it is and dissipates because it does not fit in with the plan of love. Imagine yourself sending out love all around the planet, knowing that by doing so, you're actually making a difference in changing the way people behave and think and act, because you are putting love into the world that affects the way people love and think and act. So let our subconscious mind continue on the journey, sending out love into the world, and let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That is the show for today. Thank you very much for being here. Much appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow with some more news and information. Till then, you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.